Hey guys, Ken Yachts here with Be Real Sales Training. Just wanted to give you a quick kind of intro into Be Real and what is my UVP. Well, how do I stand out from other people out there in the industry? A lot of great trainers out there. I do come at things a little bit differently, and there's a reason. Part of it is my background, part of it is my passion. So I want to share that with you right now. First of all, Be Real. Why did I create it? First of all, I'm a ball coach, coached a bunch of teams over the years, a lot of high school, coached a lot of college camps, all those type things. So that is in my blood, just being a coach, which makes sure kind of ensures that you're a great communicator, a great motivator, and understand how to coach all the way to the end of your bench. You don't just say things one way. You have to come at it a few different ways to make sure that it sticks. And so with that mindset, I always was successful in sales. So you can see there, I've got over 13 different types of sales that I did in different industries. Also held multiple leadership roles, including starting my own businesses a couple of times, and then helping other people run theirs as well. But always tied, as a base foundation was my tie to sales, and then it just always ended up being in the leadership roles as well. So that is my passion. Obviously, the roofing industry is a big component of the last probably 6 years of my life. And so that is where I have been and ended up kind of jumping into creating the Be Real program. Sales to sales, just like in sports. Bo Jackson, he played football and baseball, but if he'd have played, two other sports, you would still know who Bo Jackson was. He was just a great athlete. And I feel sales is that way as well. All the years of coaching, I'm sales opportunities that I had and my ability to excel in those only made me better at every other thing that I went to sell. When I got into roofing, it was no different. Sales to sales. There's a lot of people that look at it and say, well, and there are specifics and things that you learn, but the core values of what makes you a great sales professional is very consistent across the board. And that's what I found out. So what I looked at was what was the main thing, the main line of consistency of why I excelled where others may not have. And that was because I learned to create comfortable conversations that led to valuable relationships. So the main thing I want to do is always keep people comfortable, never pushy. And so from that, I always created really good relationships. And so my philosophy has always been relational sales over transactional. And it just always provided a lot of fruit for my labor. So what is Be Real itself? Be Real is an acronym. It's relate, educate, ask, and listen. Those are four very important components of my sales process, and very popular with a lot of the old school guys. You listen to Zig Ziglar, Dale Carnegie, Tom Hopkins. These guys are legends in sales. And it wasn't they just sold one particular thing. Maybe they broke into that particular thing, but their sales coaching travels across multiple industries and multiple generations. So with that, we move into my mission statement. My mission statement is to equip professionals with the skills and mindset to achieve sustainable results today and set the stage for a successful future. Um, I believe this is Zig Ziglar said this is you don't build companies, you build people, and then the people build the companies. And then my kind of quote that I always say is coaching the sales without coaching the person is a formula for failure. I don't believe that you can pour water into a cup with holes in it and obtain, and quench anybody's thirst. That's just not a successful formula. We have to build on a solid foundation. You're not going to be, terrible at being a husband and a father, a wife, a church member, anything else like that. You're not going to be terrible at everything else and then just come to work and be a great salesperson. That's just not typically the way it works. So what we want to do is we want to coach the people as much as we coach the sales. So personal development is a big part of what I coach, people by people. And so your people will represent you more than any amount that you spend on your marketing or branding. That's just a fact. I know great companies that are very well marketed, been around a long time. And then I talk to people and they can't stand the company. And it's not because anything the company did. It's because the people representing them went out there and acted some kind of way. So it's vital that you invest in that. People buy from people they like. So just learning the mindset, the empathy, tonality, intentionality, that's going to enhance your likability as a sales professional, and that's going to inevitably generate more business for you. So people think sales coaching is price, product, process, and pitch. The reality is the personal development and the people skills. If you just did that and didn't know any of the other four things, you would actually destroy it in sales. Like that is the foundation. And then you learn the other things as you go. And obviously, those are important components. You need to know your prices, your product, your process. Now, pitch is horrible. I do not believe in pitches whatsoever. And we get into that in the coaching, but that's where my mindset is to coach people on just being good people and being real and being authentic. You spend all this money in other areas of your company. The reality is, at the end of the day, one guy can go out there and sell out of a Jeep with no branding whatsoever on it, and one polo shirt go out there and outsell any of these other guys based on lead gen and all this other stuff. The reality is people buy people, man. So invest in your people, make them better people, and they will produce better for you and your company. Not to mention the culture shift that will take place because you are actually concerned with them as much as with the money that they bring in. So my four main principles are relationships over sales, conversations over pitches, the journey over the destination, and then winning every moment. So every moment, every conversation, you have opportunity there to gain value. So how did you gain value in that? So we kind of coach on those things. Winning is in the details. That's true of sports. That's true of sales. That's true of business. So I'm very detail oriented. These are just some of the modules. I still got about eight to nine modules. I think that's not been added in there. Each one of those modules is a different coaching point that we run through associated with those coaching modules. There is homework attached, some type of action, some interactive action that has to take place in between those modules to make sure that the concept is getting home and that through the repetition, we're developing the right habits. And here's why, because the way people learn is 10% of what they hear, 50% of what they see, 70% of what they say or write, and then 90% of what they actually do. So without the doing and the repetition, you're just not going to land the plane, so to speak. So how are we different? I have weekly calls, team chat access. I have personal accountability, focus on personal development, separate coach and focus for both team and leadership. So I have a sales coaching calls and leadership coaching calls on alternate weeks. And then this includes interactive activity for each module that I coach. And again, that goes back to, consistently pouring into the team and making sure that they're developing the right habits. I tell teams all the time, this sounds crazy, but if you watch Karate Kid, sometimes he was painting the fence and waxing the car and sanding the floor and doing all these things, and he didn't even realize he was learning karate. So some of the things that we coach on, it's about how to build relationships, how to ask the right questions, how to follow up, how to communicate, how it's being landed on from the other side of the door or the other side of the table, the other side of the phone. What are they hearing whenever you're saying certain things? So again, the winning is in the details. So we really get into the weeds a little bit during that to make sure that they're really understanding becoming a true professional. So what's next, man? I would love to get on a call and just talk about your company, your current processes, your future plans, and what are the actual needs. And then share with you everything that, about more detailed about Be Real and what I do. I've got testimonials and things of that nature we can throw in there. From different business owners as well as the guys in the field actually being coached. So all that stuff is available to you. But I want to start off with just getting on a call, having a discovery call, and just I've got a series of questions. I want to make sure that you're a right fit for me. I'm sure you're going to have a lot more questions to make sure I'm a right fit for you, and then just see how we're going to deliver the information. Maybe it is a long-term deal where I'm coaching you throughout, a designated period of time. Maybe it's a one-off, come out, pour into your team, jump in there, do the hoot, rah, rah, get everybody fired up and then head back out. And that's it. we can kind of tailor those around what your needs are and what you feel like is going to make the best impact for your team. So go ahead and jump on there. You can go right there to my BeRealSalesTraining.com and book a call, or you can scan that QR code. But either way, I look forward to hearing from you guys.